God morgen og velkommen tilbake til Practice Norwegian podcast. Welcome back to the Practice Norwegian podcast. Hope you're having a great day. Så håper du har en kjempefin morgen og dag. Vi har noen spennende nyheter, so we have some exciting news. We made a new series now with essays and mini podcasts. So the background for this first is that for many people, the listening comprehension is often somewhat lagging behind the other skills. Så lytteforståelse, lyttefarten er ofte litt saktere enn de andre ferdighetene. So therefore we made this new series, two types of series for business vocabulary and for general intermediate level, where you can have weekly essays with a mini podcast from then a native speaker, and you can build vocabulary with useful, practical words from then both general life and in a working environment. So we made this now with every essay email, you're going to get pronunciation, translation, questions, solutions, and vocabulary list. Så i hver e-post så får du da lesing med morsmål uttale, med oversettelser, med spørsmål, med løsninger, og også en liten vokabularliste, et lite ordforråd. And then if you keep subscribing, you're going to keep all the essays, mini podcasts in your archive, and then you can keep looking back and revising if you want to. Så du beholder alle episodene i et lite arkiv, så lenge du er en abonnent og subscribe til essay-serien. So we're going to show two examples now. One is from the general intermediate level, så dette er fra det mellomnivået. And then we're just going to read a little bit of the introduction. Så titlen er En helg på hytta, A Weekend at the Cabin. Forrige helg dro familien Pedersen til hytta si på fjellet. So last weekend, the family Peterson went to their cabin in the mountains. De hadde planlagt turen i flere uker. They had planned the trip for several weeks. Fredag ettermiddag pakket de bilen full av mat, klær og utstyr. Friday afternoon, they packed the car full of food, clothes and equipment. Barna Emma og Jonas var veldig spente. The children, Emma and Jonas, were very excited. Turen tok 3 timer. The trip took 3 hours. Da de endelig kom fram, when they finally got there, I mean, come forward is to get there to the destination, var det allerede mørkt ute. Was it already dark outside? And so on. So this is about a third of the essay. So cirka 1/3. And then we would have hytte is cabin, fjell, mountain, peis, fireplace. And the questions like, hvor dro familien Pedersen? Where went the family Peterson? And you have solutions like, til hytta si på fjellet, to their cabin in the mountains. And then you're also going to get snippets with vocabulary pronunciation as well. So that is from the intermediate level. And then we're going to have a short example from the Business Advanced Norwegian series. And then the episode is called Strategimøte, the strategy meeting. So this is very aimed at people who work in a business corporate environment and want to build the vocabulary and the pronunciation on this type of language. So the first opening of the essay is Onsdag klokka 9 samlet konsernledelsen seg i styrerommet. Wednesday at 9 o'clock, the top management were gathering in the boardroom på 13. etasje, on the 13th floor. Toppsjef Hansen åpnet møtet med en gjennomgang. The CEO, top chief executive, opened the meeting with going through av fjorårets resultater, last year's results. Tallene var oppløftende. The numbers were encouraging, or uplifting, literally. Omsetningen hadde økt med 14%. The turnover, the total sales, had increased with 14%, og markedsandelen i Skandinavia, and the market share in Scandinavia, hadde styrket seg betydelig. Had strengthened itself, increased itself, literally, significantly. Vi står overfor kritiske beslutninger. We are facing critical decisions. Then literally we are standing in front of, or looking over it, towards it. Angående ekspansjon til det tyske markedet. Regarding expansion to the German market. Innledet Hansen. Introduced or started Hansen. So this is an example from the Business Advanced language course. And then the same structure, you have a vocabulary, konsernledelse, corporate management, markedsandel, market share, differentiere is to differentiate, and so on. And the questions. Hvor mye økte omsetningen I fjor, and so on. So those are the two types of essay series we have made. To typer serier med essays. We already have subscribers on both of them, and we're getting great feedback, so vi har allerede abonnenter. And we can also add that for both of them, and then also especially for the business part. So this comes from now 14 years of teaching, like private teaching tutoring for me, and about 8,000 or 9,000 lessons, and working with UX designers in Google, the owners of several consultancy companies, business analysts, and oil executives, and so on. So you get all this then for just $6 a month. So this is kind of the pricing package. It's just if you subscribe, pay $6 a month, you will get 4 or 5 essays with these mini podcasts every month. So if you just go to dailynorwegian.com/subscribe, so dailynorwegian.com/subscribe is also a button if you go just to dailynorwegian.com. And then you can see on the subscribe page more of examples of the topics that we're talking about in the essays. So if you start today or this weekend, you can have your first essay on Monday morning, and then you can also decide the delivery time and day of the week, to whichever is most convenient for you. Okay, so that was the news. That var nyhetene for this autumn. So we just made it a few weeks ago, and then it's already in production. So dette morsomt og også hyggelig at folk setter pris på det. So like it's appreciated and it's helpful for, especially then again, listening, practice, skill, and the vocabulary building. So hope some of that could be interesting. And if you have any questions at all, just email me at info@dailynorwegian.com. So you can just write me at info@dailynorwegian.com. So that, again, thank you so much for listening. Hope you're having a great day, og håper vi ses igjen snart.